Ball talked at length with us this week. Short kickoff and a fair catch made by Portland State. And it'll come out to the 25-yard line with the new rule this year. And Jelani Eason, a late surprising start for Portland State. The sophomore from LA instead of Davis Alexander, who started their opener against Nevada.
I'm guessing there's multiple reasons for this. Bruce Barnum did tell us we'd see both quarterbacks, and we must remember he's back to calling the offense, not only the head coach but the offensive coordinator this year. So two different styles. With Eason at quarterback, there will be more of a run game involved from the quarterback position. He'll be a threat, and they'll try to control the clock, I would imagine, against this Oregon D.
Portland State losing their opener last Friday night in Reno against Nevada. 72-19, they got off to a good start. And the first down carry, and not much there for Sergio Hoffman, who led Portland State in carries against the Wolfpack last week. Let's take a look at our Wendy's impact players.
Love what I saw from Justin Hollins coming off the edge. He set the edge in the run game last week, but also rushed their quarterback with ferocity as the game continued. And Ugo Chukwu-Amadi, he's a player who can play safety. He can play corner. He can be in the nickel defending the slot. He had a big day last week, especially in the second half with a pick six and a quarterback sack.
Second down for Portland State, and Jelani Eason, who made 5 starts last year as a true freshman, including each of the first 3 games for Portland State. He keeps, and he gets out near the 30-yard line where he's gang tackled. Kalana Apelu leading the charge along with Troy Dye for Oregon. And it'll bring up third down.
Some nice ball action here in the backfield. The fake to the interior. Also gave a little ball fake towards the exterior as well. Protected the ball as he ran up into the teeth of that Oregon defense, but it does still bring up a 3rd and 5, so they haven't moved it that effectively. Now he's in more of a predictable passing situation.
Vikings were only 3 of 19 against Nevada last week on third down. And it was tied 9-9 at the end of the first quarter against the Wolfpack. Then it got away from Portland State. Nevada had 636 yards of total offense. Jelani Eason steps up, has room to run, gets a first down and more, and he's brought down out across the 45-yard line. Nick Pickett and Apelu on the tackle.
This is what Eason will have to do. He can be really effective with it. Once a running lane presents itself, and Davis Alexander, the other quarterback, he's mobile enough as well, but he's not Eason. So anytime there's a running lane available, I think this will be a really effective portion of the Vikings offense as long as Eason can utilize his mobility.
17 yards and a change at quarterback. Eason is out. Davis Alexander, that's actually Danny Velasquez who comes in, who was the 3rd quarterback for Portland State. The sophomore from Turlock, who did play last week against Nevada, threw and completed his only pass for 17 yards, a JC transfer from Modesto Junior College. But Portland State takes a timeout, so we've seen the backup. Now the 3rd string, we've yet to see the starter, Davis Alexander.
And it's interesting to me because not only rotating your QB during the series, if you're Bruce Barnum, but also the fact that he's going to the 3rd guy who didn't get any work last week. But Velasquez is the biggest of their 3 quarterbacks and maybe has the most multiple of the skill sets. Still thought of as an effective passer from what he did at the junior college level, but the more physical runner. He's mobile like all 3 of them are. He may not be quite as fast in a straight line as Jelani Eason, but he does have a more burly mentality the way he carries the ball.
From the Portland State 47, in motion goes Darian Green. Empty backfield, Velasquez keeps, and he runs into the line where he's stacked up by Austin Faliu. Faliu was active last week against the Falcons of Bowling Green.
Very much so. And the defensive front, this is the thing where, I was an old defensive lineman by trade. It can take some of the starch out of you when you're facing mobile quarterbacks, because if you're used to trying to penetrate and you're looking to make plays, when you have a quarterback who can become one of those ball carriers, it can force you to sit back on your heels a bit.
Now Jelani Eason returns at quarterback for the Vikings on 2nd and 9. Cameron Luce goes in motion, and on the ground, Portland State gets across midfield with Sergio Hoffman.
It brings up another predictable 3rd down. And we saw last time Justin Hollins was coming off the edge. They chipped him with a running back. Pass protection for Carlos Martin, starting running back. Darian Green, a transfer from Ball State. Whoever's in running back for Portland State will have to play a role with the tight end and how they can help protect the quarterback in these predictable passing situations.
3rd and 6 for the Vikings at the Oregon 49. Eason directing traffic. Sergio Hoffman, the running back. And Eason looking to throw. Pumps to the outside. It's juggled, caught, but a loss of yardage. Charlie Tamupeo, the junior tight end from Federal Way, Washington, is hit behind the line and dropped by Kalana Apello.
Formationally, I like what Portland State did there because they had multiple receivers into the boundary, the short side of the field, and that took Justin Hollins extended away from the pass rush. He couldn't come quite as hard, but from a route running standpoint, they couldn't get beyond the sticks.
Sophomore Ben Neisner is the punter for the Vikings. Ugo Chukwu Amadi back to return, standing at the Oregon 20. And the rollout kick, wobbler, fair catch. Amadi gets run into, there's a flag. Romeo Gunt collided with Amadi, denying him the opportunity to catch that, so that'll be catch interference against Portland State and give Oregon pretty good field position for their first drive. The junior from Philly, Romeo Gunt, a little over-eager.
One of those self-inflicted wounds you want to avoid.
Personal foul. Kicking team. 15-yard penalty. First down.
And there was time there to react. He could see the fair catch signal very clearly. It wasn't necessarily forced into the return man by the blocker. He's got to be able to make that last-second veer off of your path.
Jay Edwards, our referee today, is Justin Herbert. There is numbers from last week, and yes, he was 10 for 21, but he performed a lot better than his line indicates.
5 touchdown passes, a touchdown run. It was a huge day.
Looking to throw on first down. Dylan Mitchell adjusting, and he could not hang on. Tried to squeeze it in there in between Sam Enos, the safety, and the corner Montre Brown, and Herbert incomplete. But he was plagued by 4 or 5 drops last week by his receivers.
He was, and that was a pass. He ended up having to throw it sort of back hip, trying to get it to where Dylan Mitchell could catch it in between multiple defenders.
On second down, Tony Brooks-James cuts it back, has a first down, brought down shy of midfield. Larry Ross on the tackle for the Vikings after a 12-yard gain for the senior Brooks-James.
Of course, Oregon wants to be successful on the ground, but Brooks-James is going to be the main guy.
Going quick with tempo. From the Ducks, 47, Mitchell going in motion. The pistol look. Herbert will throw. Herbert to Mitchell, and it's dropped. Rather, Johnny Johnson, the third, with the drop. And again, that's what plagued Oregon last week, a ball that's easily catchable.
Hit him right on both of his hands. And Johnny Johnson, who had a drop early in last week's game. That's part of why Justin Herbert last week versus Bowling Green. Passes of 20 yards or more. He was 3 of 8, but 4 out of the 5 incompletions were drops, according to PFF College.
Second down 10 from the 47. Herbert, play action, and it's in and out of the hands of Jalen Redd. And it's third down and 10 for the Ducks.
So this is going to become a thing pretty quickly here because, while last week's win was very comfortable, but we could see, okay, the thing to improve on is the drops, like we've already covered earlier in the show. Mario Cristobal addressed it with his receivers, his skill position guys, and he said he did it. They have a confrontational coaching style, but he meant it in a positive way. We can describe that more later.
On third down, Herbert. Good protection. Toward the sideline, leading. Brendan Schooler with the catch out of bounds. First down, Oregon. Nice grab by Schooler, the junior from Dana Point down in Southern California.
And Schooler's a player I anticipate we'll see get more and more involved. He wasn't really a part of the passing attack last week, but he's probably as sure-handed as they have.
25 yards. Of course, his brother Colin, a linebacker at Arizona, as Herbert keeps. Herbert slides shy of a first down. He gets 9 inside the 20.
Seeing that Ducks tempo start to roll a bit. Herbert was all-state, and not only football, but baseball as well. Nice slide there. We'll be evaluating slides a lot this season, I think.
Second and 1. Herbert The handoff. Tony Brooks-James gets enough for the first down. Brought down by Sam Bodine, who lost his helmet in the process, who needs to leave for one play.
Bodine, a big part of what happens on the interior of the Vikings defense because he plays the will linebacker position, but in their flex look, the will ends up kind of siphoning around at the second level a lot and becomes an inserted member of the front five.
From the Portland State 17-yard line. 1st and 10, Oregon. Approaching 6 minutes in, looking to score in their first drive as Brooks-James hit behind the line, and that'll be a short loss. Stacked up. Samis Kofe, the sophomore from Portland, leading the charge, along with the corner, the redshirt freshman Anthony Adams for Portland State.
He's going to shoot into the backfield from the side there. And at the mesh point, there's a decision to be made from that edge defender, trying to determine if the QB will give it or keep it.
2nd down. Herbert for the end zone, looking for Jalen Redd. Touchdown Ducks. 18 yards, Herbert to the sophomore Redd. 4th career touchdown catch for Jalen Redd, and Oregon strikes first.
It's a clean pocket, off the play action. This is a different pass than we saw Justin Herbert delivering at any point last week. More of a teardrop, had to arc it over the top of the defense.
Zach Emerson for the extra point. Redd, who caught 2 touchdown passes against Bowling Green last week. Those were his receptions. And the Ducks go 9 plays, 65 yards. Blake Mamo in the holder is Emerson. Nails the extra point. And an early start for Oregon. 18 yards, Herbert to Redd. Ducks up 7-zip. The Buick scoring drive for the Ducks. 9 plays, 65 yards, just over 2 minutes, and the 18-yard touchdown pass from Herbert to Jalen Redd as Herbert went 2 of 5 on the drive for 43 yards. That key completion is Schooler, but 2 drops on the drive. At some point for Oregon, this has got to stop, these drops.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing for these drops to take place against mid-tier MAC teams or FCS foes. Conference schedule is going to come up on them quick here. They got to get it cleaned up.
And 2 weeks, they have Stanford here as a fair catch. It'll come out to the 25 for Portland State. Let's go to Chris Francis for a studio update.
Guys, this is your TIAA studio update. UCLA and Oklahoma Sooners quarterback Kyler Murray, 10 yards on the read option. Takes it in easily. That made the score 21-7. We're in the second quarter. Bruins driving, though, trying to keep it close. Guys?
All right, Chris, 7-0, number 23, Oregon leading Portland State. As coming out for the second series is Jelani Eason. We've yet to see Davis Alexander, who is their starter at least going in. Carlos Martin checks in at running back for the Vikings, who are trying to snap a 14-game losing streak here today. Carlos Martin picks up a yard. A late flag comes in as Martin lost his helmet. And if the penalty forced that helmet off of Martin, Martin can stay in the game and not have to sit out a play.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. Number 21. 15-yard penalty. Run. Automatic. First down.
Matrell McGraw called for the personal foul in the face mask, but I think they had it wrong as McGraw not in there on the tackle of number 21, Martin. So Martin can stay in the game if they want because the personal foul forced the helmet off.
And now we do see another change at quarterback. Velasquez coming back in for the Vikings. Empty backfield set.
Last week, just 3 penalties for the Ducks. Last season, they averaged about 9.5. And Danny Velasquez will run. And a short pickup around the right side before he's knocked backward by Jordan Scott. And also the corner, Diamador Lenore.
Well, the game plan here early is obviously to utilize the quarterback running. And with Jordan Scott being in the middle, looks like right now, today, they're not going with the full Q-tip. He had an injury to his hand last week in week 1. They tried just binding the fingers together for a while, and then eventually they just had to go to a full club to keep the entire hand protected. Right now, he's just trying to do the buddy tape job.
Second down and 8 for Portland State as Eason returns a quarterback. Trying the option in the pitch and trying to get to the outside. Oregon ready for it. Amadi comes up with a safety spot to bring down. That was the tight end, Tamupeo. And that'll go as a gain of 1 or bring up third down.
You've really got to be assignment sound when you're facing an option attack, especially because I would imagine Oregon was prepared to see Eason and Velasquez as backups, but they were probably expecting that Alexander would start. He's more of the passing quarterback.
Last time Portland State won a football game, November 5th of 2016, winning at UC Davis. They've lost 14 straight.
There's Jalen Jelks coming off the edge.
Eason on the rollout. Flag down, incomplete. As Zuppello chasing down Jelani Eason. Flag in the area of holding.
Need to allow the defenders to disengage.
Holding. Offense. Number 79. Penalty will be declined. Result of the play. Fourth down.
Right tackle Carlos Barraza.
Initially, there was some power rush coming from Jelks, and he tried to disengage to go get in chase mode against Eason. Barraza is held on to the outside of that shoulder. It's one thing to initially engage. At a certain point, though, when the defense tries to run away, you got to let go.
Ben Neisner on for his second punt. Ugo Chukwu Amadi back to return. The rollout punt, Neisner lofts it down, takes a Portland State bounce inside the 10, inside the 5, and the Vikings down it at the 1. The Ducks backed up, but up 7-zip. Pac-12 football is presented by TIAA. Live your definition of success at TIAA.org. Ice Cold Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville. And by the $5 double cheesy gordita crunch box from Taco Bell. I love my bike. Actually, that's not how I got to the stadium this morning. C.J. Verdell and a running back ducks from the one after a terrific punt from Neisner, backing up Oregon. There's a flag down after the short pickup by the redshirt freshman C.J. Verdell. Tackled by Sam Bodine.
Offsides. Defense. Number 14. 5-yard penalty. Remains. First down.
Jay Edwards, our referee, telling us Anthony Adams was offside, and he's been busy already. The referee, Jay Edwards, today. Unfortunately. 1st and 5 now for the Ducks after the penalty, and the handoff to C.J. Verdell gets tripped up a yard shy of the first down. Bring up 2nd and short.
We'll continue to see a rotation in the backfield at running back. Tony Brooks James played every snap of the initial offensive series. They didn't get Brooks James back into the flow of the offense as much last week, so I think we'll see
Stadium this morning. C.J. Verdell and a running back ducks from the one after a terrific punt from Neisner, backing up Oregon. There's a flag down after the short pickup by the redshirt freshman C.J. Verdell. Tackled by Sam Bodine.
Offsides. Defense. Number 14. 5-yard penalty. Remains. First down.
Jay Edwards, our referee, telling us Anthony Adams was offside, and he's been busy already. The referee, Jay Edwards, today. Unfortunately. 1st and 5 now for the Ducks after the penalty, and the handoff to C.J. Verdell gets tripped up a yard shy of the first down. Bring up 2nd and short.
We'll continue to see a rotation in the backfield at running back. Tony Brooks James played every snap of the initial offensive series. They didn't get Brooks James back into the flow of the offense as much last week, so I think we'll see TBJ get some more touches today.
And Oregon has 6 different running backs. It's Verdell breaking a tackle, and he stumbles out across the 15, first down, tripped up by Sam Enos. They'll move the sticks for Oregon. 9 yards for Verdell, but 6 different running backs saw the football last week. This can't continue playing 6 running backs.
And certainly get the impression, talking to Jim Mastro, who's one of their offensive coaches, one of the innovators who worked with Chris Alt of the Pistol, that rotation will start to pare down as they approach conference play.
A little miscommunication there, but Verdell through the line. C.J. Verdell out near midfield. Romeo Gunt on the tackle. First down, Oregon, as Verdell rips off a big one.
Well, this is one of the things they like with the younger running backs. Verdell's a 200-pounder who can run with physicality. He can work his way through contact.
29 yards for the redshirt freshman. He carried it 13 times for 51 yards last week against Bowling Green. All day to throw Herbert underneath. Kano Dillon, the grad transfer tight end from South Florida, who will assume a bigger role with Cam McCormick lost for the season.
Justin Herbert continues to be unharassed in the backfield. And one of the things you normally have the opportunity to do with the flex that Coach Payam Sadat runs for the Vikings defense is find different ways, different avenues, different defenders from the 2nd and 3rd level to try and blitz.
2nd down. Herbert steps up, throws over the middle, looking for Dillon. And Dillon had to turn it into defensive back and broke it up, as it was Sam Bodine with excellent coverage who lost his helmet in the process. That's been an issue for Bodine already in the first quarter.
And Romeo Gunt was one of the defenders who was coming off the edge here. He penetrates into the backfield, but the ball fake there at the mesh point, he actually darts down inside, doesn't realize Justin Herbert still has the football. It's kind of like an N1 mixtape he's got back there.
It's well defended by Sam Bodine. And there goes the equipment manager. See, look, I've lost my helmet 3 times already. This can't pop off anymore. Timeout taken on the field. 4:25 to go, first quarter. Justin Herbert and the Ducks leading Portland State. Let's take a look at Wendy's impact players when Oregon has the football.
Penei Sewell got the start last week. First true freshman offensive lineman to start week 1 since '97. And Jacob Breland will have an even bigger role in the Ducks offense this year with the loss of Cam McCormick for the season to a leg injury.
Oregon going 6 of 13 last week against Bowling Green on 3rd down. 3rd and 9. Herbert stepping up. Herbert on the move. And it's Kano Dillon with the catch. First down, Oregon. Dillon pushed out of bounds. Sam Enos, the safety, ran him out.
Some of that pass protection. Let's look at Sewell on the edge. And Larry Ross, a good pass rusher, tries the speed rush, dipping that shoulder. Sewell just very patient.
Second catch for Dillon. Herbert on the rollout, dumps it off. Down the sideline, cutting it back. Tabari Hines, the grad transfer from Wake Forest, gets inside the 10. First catch as a Duck for Hines, who had a successful career at Wake Forest.
He really did, and he was a little bit banged up in camp this year. That's part of why he didn't have as big a role in week 1. Got a nice block on the edge there from Brendan Schooler.
13 career touchdown catches for the Demon Deacons. Here again is Tabari Hines to the corner. He's in. Touchdown, Oregon.
These crossing patterns could be a thing of beauty when they're run correctly.